This is question number 22 of homework 11 for chapter 10. Review the graph at right for a nonlinear price discriminating monopolist relying on two prices, $80 and $60. So the first part is how much is the consumer surplus. So if you look at this graph, you see that the monopoly charges, here we have a nonlinear price discrimination, which means that for different quantities, the price charged will be different. So between the quantity of 0 and 20, the price is $80, and between the quantity of 20 and 40, the price is $60. And so when the price is $80, the consumer surplus, we know that that's the difference between the consumer's willingness to pay, which means the reservation price, and we know that that's captured by the demand curve. That's the distance between the demand curve and this $80. So graphically, this is the triangle here, the triangle which starts from $100, which is the vertical intercept of this demand curve. Actually, this is the demand line, straight line. And the second point of this triangle is $80 here. And the third point here is here, which is 20 output quantities. So if we know the length and the height of this triangle, we can determine the area. That's the consumer surplus, and that's for the first portion. So if we put down this in a note, the first part of this consumer surplus is this triangle, which the length is 20, and the height is distance between 80 and 100, so that's 20 again. So we know that the area of a triangle is simply the consumer surplus part. 1 is the triangle area, that's 1/2 of the length, which is, as we said, is 20, times the height, which is again 20. So the first part of the consumer surplus is 20 times 20, that's 400, divided by 2, that's 200. But we are not done yet, because for the nonlinear price discrimination, we actually have two parts for the consumer surplus. One part is corresponding to the first price, which is $80, and the second part is corresponding to the second price, which is $60. So for the $60, the consumer's willingness to pay is again captured by the demand line, but the price is $60, and this is captured again by this triangle here. This triangle with 3 points. One is 80. The price is 80 here. That's the starting point. And the second point is 60. The price is 60. And with both points, the quantity is 20. And the third point is when the price is 60 and the quantity is 40. So again, the area of this triangle is the length times the height divided by 2. So the length is distance between 40 and the 20, that's 20, and height is distance between 80 and 60, that's 20 again. So we can see that the second part of the consumer surplus, again, that's 200. So now the sum of these two is our total. That's 400. So check my answer. Nice work. So how much is the producer surplus? For the first price, $80, the producer surplus is the distance between the price and marginal cost. So this is captured by this triangle. Sorry, this is not a triangle. This is a rectangle captured by this rectangle here. And rectangle one, the length and height. The length is 20 and height is distance between 80 and 40 because the marginal cost here is 40. So that's 40. So putting down this in my note, producer surplus. Again, this is the first part because this is a rectangle, so we don't divide that by 2. We simply multiply the length, which is again 20, and by the height, which is the 80 minus 40, that's 40. So this gives me 800. So that's the first part. The second part, producer surplus 2. Let's see. Second part, the price is 60, and again this is the distance between the price and the marginal cost, and this is captured by this rectangle here. Actually, if we look closely, this becomes a square because the length and the height is both 20. So this becomes 20 multiplied by 20. So this gives me 400. So their sum is 1200. So that's my producer surplus. Check my answer. We're done. And how much is the deadweight loss? So deadweight loss is the distance is actually captured by this triangle here, because this triangle measures that basically the producer can theoretically find out a price which is higher than its marginal cost but lower than the consumer's willingness to pay, which is represented by this demand straight line. But in practice, the producers wouldn't be able to do that because they want to maximize their profit, and that's why we call this the deadweight loss. Because from the society's point of view, the society can push it potentially gain by if the producers produce more, and hence these consumers can have their product consumed. But because of the constraint that the monopolist faces, they wouldn't do that. So that's called deadweight loss. And because this triangle here, the length is the 40, the distance between 40 and 60, that's 20, and the height is also 20. So again, the area, as we just calculated, it's 200. So that's my deadweight loss. And so the total welfare is the sum of the consumer surplus and the producer surplus, which is 400 plus 1200. So that's 1600. Check answer. Excellent.